Hi, this is Dreama, and today we are doing a client reading. And as always, I know the name of the client, and they know their name, but I won't be saying it in this video. Now, today we're going to be using the Gilded Tarot. It's actually a deck that I am extremely connected to, and I've already shuffled these quite a bit before I started the camera, but I wanted to do it just a little bit more. Now, today's reading is a how does he or she feel reading. Now, that is kind of what the client had actually gotten. Now, this reading is going to be a little bit different than the average ones that I do, and I'll explain why. The client actually had some questions, and a how does he or she feel reading. The spread normally is not a spread where we would actually talk about questions. It's pretty straightforward, and it's basically just to tell us how someone feels about someone else. That's the purpose. But the client actually has a choice between two different individuals, and their question was, you know, what were both of their feelings for them, and which one of these choices is best. Now, the problem is that that's actually three questions in one, because the client wanted to know about one person, a second person, and then what should they do. There's really, the only way I can modify this spread to do that, basically what I've done is I've split it into two parts, and it will give us some insight into how each of these individuals feel about the client. However, in order to find out what choice is best, there definitely would have to be a more in-depth reading done. So, to be honest, this question is not even answerable with this spread. You know, I can actually add 3 more cards to it after we get finished to see if that may help. But just because of the way that the spread is actually generated and laid out, it's kind of a 3-question reading in one. So we're going to start with these top 3 cards. Now, the top 3 cards will be for individual number 1 in their email to me. This bottom will be for individual number 2. Now, how this works is the first card would represent the sexual attraction that person may feel towards the client. The center card represents any kind of emotional or spiritual connection that there may be between the person and the client. And lastly is the love card. That card will tell us if there is any love between this person, and if so, what type of love. So we're going to start up here with individual number 1 in the email, the first person they asked about. Okay, and we have the 3 of Pentacles and the 8 of Wands and the 7 of Swords. Now, the 3 of Pentacles is interesting because what that tells me is that person does have a sexual attraction to the client. And it looks like they're the type of person that will only have, right now in their life, it looks like there's other choices for them, but they are concentrating on this one sexual attraction. So as of right now, they're not a person that would stray at this moment. And that's not to say it might be something later on, but right now their primary focus is the sexual attraction with the client. Next we have the 8 of Wands. Now this card is the connection card. And so what I'm getting from this is that it looks as though that the client does have some sort of spiritual and emotional connections to the client. However, this person, what I'm getting is that they're the kind of person that actually kind of move around a bit. They may do things hastily, okay? So right now, their focus is the client, and they are sexually attracted, and they do feel a love for the client, but this is really not the kind of person that their spiritual emotion connection is going to stick. They tend to move on. Next, we have the Seven of Swords. And as you can see from the image, they're holding some swords and some are laying at their feet. So what this tells me is this person has a tendency to pick up partners and people along the way. And they will tend to juggle and keep as many close to them as they can. But I really believe that they have left some in the background. They've left some behind. So to me, this is the type of person that would at some point move on. They do love the client for now, but this person is the type of person that, you know, it just may not stick. Okay, now let's move to person number 2. And we have the Empress and the Ace of Pentacles. And then lastly, we have the Two of Pentacles. Now, I'm going to start with the Empress. The Empress is a very powerful card. And I'm not sure if you'll notice, but she's holding a circle. And, you know, what I get from the Empress is that this second person this is about sexual attraction now, that this person is being truthful about this sexual attraction. And this sexual attraction is something that will make them complete as the circle, okay? And so this person is not like the other. They're quite different. The one above, you know, has been known to kind of stray and leave people and baggage by the wayside. This person is concentrating on completing themselves, okay? Next, we have the Ace of Pentacles. And, you know, as the Ace, it's a very powerful card. And I'm not sure, but you might also notice that in the card, there's one large pentacle, okay? And what this tells me is that this person, the emotional and spiritual connection that they feel with the client, that this gives this person almost a feeling of contentment and completeness, which goes along with this. So they are sexually attracted, and there is a, you know, emotional and spiritual connection. But this is a deeper type of connection, much deeper than the first person, okay? Next, we have the Two of Pentacles. Now, this card, to me, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but there is a man, he's kind of juggling two of those. And this tells me that there are obstacles in this second person's life. Whatever they are, there's something that this person has to juggle. Okay? There may be some sort of trouble or problems that this person has. Something that needs to be overcome, some obstacle. I do believe that this person loves the client. However, there are problems. Okay? And those problems need to be resolved before this completeness can take place. Now, lastly, to the question that the client asked about, you know, which one is for me? Basically, looking at the cards, that kind of gives me an insight into what type of person both of these people are. I guess the answer is it depends on what the client wants out of life. If you're looking for a sexual relationship that may be short-term, but yet great, then the person number 1 would be it. But if you're looking for a long-term commitment, the second one is much better. However, these obstacles must be overcome first. Okay, now, as I said before in the beginning, it's really a 3-question reading, but I had to actually, you know, do it just a little bit different so that we could answer all the questions. And, you know, I said in the beginning we may need to add 3 more cards to, you know, give us the answer, but I think the cards have done that in itself. So that does conclude my reading for today, and I'd like everyone to join me again, and we'll see you soon.